Everyone needs it. Everyone needs a shirt. Okay? Cool. So, hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Jada West. I am a repurposed fashion designer coming to you today with a mashup between my story, my girl story, and a tutorial. So it'll be more like, it'll be an interesting experiment because it'll be more like a documentary kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see. So as you can see, I'm repping for the squad. My sis, Jasmine Diane. This is her line called My Girl Story, and it is an awesome line that promotes women sharing their stories, and it promotes sisterhood, and it is an awesome way to just connect with other women who are just being women, trying to make it in this world. So I'm excited because wearing this merchandise, having this opportunity means that I get to share my story with you guys, which is something that I was not planning on doing for a while, honestly, for no particular reason. But before we get into all of that, if you are returning and you are already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back. You will not be disappointed, I promise you. And if you are new to this channel, hey fam, thank you so much for coming to my channel. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, whatever side it's on. It's free, so I can't wait to see you come back after you've seen this video, and let's get into it. So, like I said before, my girl story, the girl merchandise, it has t-shirts, hats, mugs. It's growing, it's becoming a movement for real. And it promotes women sharing their story, it promotes women in general, and it starts conversations. So I'm excited that I get to share my story today, putting together a look that was just really like me. It was just me. So I am going to tell you guys about how I got started with my passion, which is repurposed fashion. It is thrifting. It is taking clothes that people were like, nah, and then making it into something that you created, something that looks similar to what we see now, was trendy, but ultimately you designed it. You had the control to make it, right? So it was always a passion of mine, but funny thing is I didn't know that. I had no idea what a repurpose was, what an upcycle was, none of that. All I know is that I had some Barbies, okay, and I lost their clothes. That was just pretty much the gist of it. That's how I got started with my kindergarten fashions. I would literally take the clothes, take the socks from everyone. Everyone's socks were in danger, and I would cut them up. I would put strings on the rubber bands, whatever I could find to make a little belt, and I would be putting these clothes on Barbie dolls. And I did it because I was like, well, they can't be naked. I don't know where their clothes are, but we got to do it somewhere. And at this time, my mom was into sewing, funny enough. And so I saw what she was doing, so I was like, okay, got me a little needle and thread. You know, I was making it work, doing a quick stitch up the sides, and I was just making clothes. So then we fast forward into middle school. Boy, middle school, the days of wearing 2 polo shirts, clear Air Force Ones, Jabots, everything, just everything was Jabots. So I was in a weird place because I grew up with 3 other siblings. It was 4 of us all together. So funds was tight. So I couldn't buy all of the clothes that I would see people wearing, and so I had to figure something out because I was getting frustrated. I was like, oh man, I want new clothes. I want this thing that I saw. And so I was putting together some I'm gonna call it avant-garde, but in reality it was just a hot mess. I looked confused. But you know, I was just experimenting. And so then we go into high school, and high school was where I really had a chance to practice my craft. So before I got to high school, I would, you know, I learned, I got like my first little sewing machine. I saved up some money, bought me a little $50 sewing machine. The mug was terrible quality. I don't know how I did anything with it, but it got me through. And so I had practiced a little bit, but when I got to high school, I was so lucky that there were classes where they were not home ec. I had fashion, they were construction classes, I believe they were called. And so I took it for 2 years, and I learned how to do a lot of things that honestly, it was more than, you know, the basic pajama pants and pillowcases. Like, we was in here making things. So that was so much fun, and it was a place where I finally started to see how passionate I was about fashion design, and not just cutting up clothes, as my parents so lovingly called it at the time. And so I began trying to make things, but the problem with wanting to make things is that you can't afford fabric all the time. You know, we would hit up Joann's, Hancock, but they weren't speaking my language when it came to the money. So I was always so excited when I could actually buy fabric, but in between time, like, I had to do something because I was fiending. I needed a fix, you know, over here getting a little scratchy because I got some thread that needs to be in some fabric. So I was taking my clothes, and then all my clothes were cut up. I was taking my mom's clothes and my sister's clothes, sometimes my dad's clothes, just everybody's wardrobe was once again subject to my scissors. So I was really practicing with taking the clothes apart and then trying to figure out how to put things back together, really just like learning backwards, right? And so and then in high school I made everything from like my homecoming dresses. It was only one homecoming I didn't make my dress. I went to prom twice, and I made my first dress, and the second dress I made from a dress that was actually given to me by my mom's friend. And she was like, Jada can do something with this. And so she gave it to me, and I was actually able to make a prom dress because I really couldn't afford that. Once them tickets was purchased, that was it. So I had to like put something together, and that was that. And so from there, it was basically like, well, I'm doing this in college now. This is all I do. I'm over here making prom dresses and, you know, really trying to figure out this whole fashion design thing. And so I went to school for fashion design. I went to Stevens College, and it was a wild experience. And the craziest thing about it is that I did not finish. What? I didn't even graduate. Like my second year of school, I was not doing well at all. I was just like, your girl was out here just failing. I was failing, and I was so discouraged. I was like, well, what do I do now? Because I am really sad in fashion design, and I also feel like I don't know what else to do, and I have this really strong desire to like be around people and to help people, but then I really don't like the idea of buying fabric. I would rather just cut up clothes and like make them, like basically upgrade them. And I was really conflicted because I couldn't think of a career that was that. So after I found out that I couldn't go back to school, I was deeply depressed, like deep depressed. I was just completely down. Like, I didn't know what to do after that, because everybody's telling you, you know, graduate, get a degree, get the job. But fam, like, nobody's looking at you if you ain't got a bachelor's degree. Barely. That's basically the equivalent of a diploma now, it feels like. So I was like, well, I don't know. what to do, and I stopped sewing. I stopped sewing for an entire year. I would not touch the sewing machine. I just wouldn't do it. I just was so discouraged, and I felt like I was terrible, and everything that all the confidence that I had before was just shot. It just went over there somewhere. So I actually got back into sewing. Really got into it by making my sister's prom dress. Like, what, I don't know what it is with me and prom dresses, but you know, whatever. It got the big toe in the door. So I did her prom dress. You know, I went and found the fabric in Manhattan. Like, I was just doing it. I went to Mood, you know, all my Project Runway fans, you know, Mood is that deal. And I made her dress, and I was like, man, I forgot how good this felt. I was so proud of it. I was really proud of it. And I even, you know, came up with the pattern myself because I couldn't find what I was looking for. I also kind of didn't know what to do. So my sister didn't even know what her prom dress was going to look like until like a week before prom. And so after that, I really just began to, you know, go back and forth with it. I didn't do a lot of projects after that, but then I started following somebody on YouTube whose name is Cool Rippa. If you watch YouTube videos and you like tutorials a lot, you should follow her because sis just pushes out the projects. Like, she is so good. And I was like, wow, she repurposes clothes. Also, like, she gave it a name because I didn't know what it was. And so I ended up following her, and I was like, man, I can do this. I like this. I can do this. And YouTube, Instagram was like the perfect platform to just like do what I enjoy doing and then put it out there and see what happens. And so that's how I got started. I took a sundress, I made it into a jumpsuit, and then from there I just been going. I just been moving with it, and now it's becoming something where it is not just a blog, but it's gonna become something bigger than what I could ever imagine. And I'm so grateful because at first it was just to blog. It was just an outlet, and now it inspires people to go to thrift stores. For one, like, that's the biggest step. Going to thrift stores, buying clothes like secondhand, altering things, and at the level that you're at, you know, you don't have to be no huge fashion designer. You don't even really have to be into fashion or own a sewing machine, honestly, to just do things to your clothes to make them yours, to make them custom. And I love seeing that because that's what I really wanted. I wanted it to be accessible. I don't want to be somebody who seems like they're so far out of reach, so inaccessible. Like, I want it to be like, no, these are pretty simple things that you can do to your clothes, and you're gonna love them so much better because they'll fit better, they'll look better, and you won't have spent as much money on them. And that's what it's all about, you know? Being creative, being inspired, saving money. That is really important to me because I can't afford the lifestyle. I just can't. A new trend comes out every day. Fashion Nova puts out 100 styles on their website like every hour. I just can't keep up. Shipping is too much. I don't like it. I don't want to do it no more. So this is where we are right now. And that is my story. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to it. And if you are into this merchandise, check out the site. I'm gonna put the link in the description box because everyone needs it. Everyone needs a shirt. Okay? Cool. So, as always, thank you so much for watching, like kicking it with me, just kicking it. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.